Hello and welcome to today's video. Do you want to have a good parenting skills? Of course you do. You want to help your children to make the most of their potential and you want them to be contributing members of the society. This will become the parenting strength you can then rely on to raise the children who develop into confident and successful adults. My name is Chika. I'm a professional educator. In today's video, we are talking about the 10 commandments of good parenting skills. Hope you will watch the end. Click now and subscribe and click on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Okay, the first commandment is to focus more on your children's positive behavior than negative behavior. Parents should be intentional about focusing more on their children's positive behavior than on their negative behavior. The more parents scold or reprimand, the more the bad behavior gets repeated. So when they receive a lot of scolding, children start to internalize the belief that I'm a bad child who misbehaves and gets scolded. As such, they don't feel motivated to correct their behavior because it has already become part of their identity. So effective parents, they understand that the best approach is to acknowledge or describe the children's good behavior when they see it. So you may have to go out your way to this approach. You have to do this with patience and as well dedication, and you will observe your children's behavior improving over time. The second commandment is to teach your children to focus on the needs of others. Children find happiness through giving to others. In fact, children find greater happiness when they give out to others sacrificially. So these are the interesting findings because most of us are naturally self-centered. We look out for our needs before the needs of others. But the research indicates that if we overcome our selfish nature and focus on the need of others, we will be happier. So if you want your children to live joyful, fulfilling lives, teach them to serve others and contribute. Involve them in activities where they get to help others and make a positive impact. So when your children think more in terms of contributing and less in terms of achievement, they will be on the path of building a happy and a successful life. The third commandment is don't shout at your children. You have probably already told yourself that you shouldn't shout at your children, but when your children are driving you up the wall, it isn't easy to stop yourself from yelling. The more you shout at your children, the more their behavior will worsen. So instead of trying to control your children's behavior, understand their perspective and feelings, then use logical reasoning to get through to them. To improve your parenting skills and better manage your anger, try these tips now. Make a firm decision that you won't shout at your children unless it's a matter of safety. Then decide beforehand what you would do if you start to become angry. You might walk away from the situation if necessary. Then take 5 deep breaths when you become agitated. Avoiding using threats. Then analyze the role you play. You have to play in the conflict. And again, think about what unmet needs your children has so that you can get the root of the issue. For example, he might feel as if he has no control over his life, which explains his rebellious behavior. Fourth commandment is to give your children responsibility around the house. Children who do more choice around the house become happier later on. Household responsibilities teaches children important life lessons related to duty, cooperation, community, and hard work. So people who learn such lessons earlier in life and more likely to become well-adjusted adults. So successful parents makes household chores a part of the family routine and culture. This sets children up for future success. Okay, the fifth commandment is to build relationship with your spouse. What does a marriage have to do with your parenting skills? Children from low conflict families are happier and more successful in the long run as compared to children from high conflict families. So research have shows that parents who have a healthy marriage are more likely to raise children who are well adjusted. So one of the most important things you can do to benefit your children is to build a strong relationship with your spouse. I don't claim to be a marriage expert, but here are some pieces of advice I have received that have helped me and my husband to build a strong marriage. You have to focus on solving problems instead of assigning blame. And again, you have to remember that the relationship is more important than being right whenever possible. Sit side by side when you are at a restaurant or a cafe. Make time to talk every day. Ask, what can I give to the relationship, more often than asking, what can I get from the relationship? Discuss your future plans together. Don't speak on your spouse's flaws and compliment your spouse in front of other people. Then occasionally you ask your spouse questions. What can I do to be a better husband or a better wife? Don't compare your marriage with other people's marriage, and also be kind and polite to your spouse. The sixth commandment is to teach your children to view challenges positively. People who view challenges and obstacles positively are far more likely to become successful than those who don't. Successful people look at challenges and think it is going to be hard, but it's still going to be fun. I'm going to look a lot through the process of overcoming this challenge. On the other hand, people who aren't so successful look at challenges and think it's going to be hard, so I would rather do something easier. I will try to avoid these challenges, but but if I really can't, I will find a shortcut easier instead. So this the foreign attitudes develop in childhood and adolescence. As such, good parents hones their skills and enabling their children to view challenges positively. The seventh commandment is, don't do things for your children that your children should do themselves. Parents want their children to be responsible and independent, but at the same time, they'll feel the urge to supervise their children closely and do things for their children that their children ought to do themselves. This explains the prevalence of helicopter parents. Helicopter parenting causes children to become less engaged in school and cause their well-being to suffer too. So a good parenting skills is to develop not how to be a helicopter parent. Here are some way to ensure you don't become a helicopter parent and instead develop parenting strength. Don't do things for your children that they are on their own they can be able to do. Let your children make age appropriate choices, and as well let your children deal with the natural consequences of their choices. As far as possible, refrain from saying you are too young to. Don't allow your children to become the center of your universe. Let your children let your children fail, then ask your children, how do you think you might be able to solve the problem? The eighth commandment is to help your children develop social skills. Researchers tracked more than 750 children over a period of 13 to 19 years. They found a correlation between the children's social skills as kindergarten and how self-confidence and successful they were as adults. So these findings highlight the importance of teaching children social skills. And some of the social skills you can teach your children are sharing, giving feedback, accepting differences, respecting others' rights and properties, identifying others' feelings, and again seeing things from other perspectives, making eye contact, managing negative emotions, listening, not interrupting, resolving conflicts, disagreeing respectively, and cooperating, then helping others, then complimenting others, and also being polite, as well as also helping, asking for help. The ninth commandment is to guide your children without controlling or micromanaging them. Psychologists has done a lot of research about the effect of different parenting styles on children. There are three types of parenting styles in general. We have the permissive, the parent is too lenient and gives in the child's unreasonable demand too often. The parent doesn't set consistent boundaries or rules. Children with permissive parents often become spoiled. The second type of parenting is authoritarian. Yeah, the parent is too strict and is frequently harsh and uncompromising. The parent often forces the child into doing things. Children with authoritarian parents, they often become resentful and rebellious in the long run. Third type of parenting style is authoritative, where the parent is just right, showing warmth and affection towards the child without being indulgent. The parent sets boundaries for the child, but is willing to compromise or negotiate if the situation calls for it. Then all or else being equal, children with authoritative parents, they are the most likely to lead happy, successful lives. So of course, it's easier to say than done for parents to adopt an authoritative parenting style all the time. But the research shows that this is the most effective approach to take. So make an effort to guide and coach your children without being controlling. This is a parenting style, the parenting skills that's definitely worth developing. The 10th and the last commandment is to give your children a sense of security. Children who have a strong sense of security earlier on in life go on to perform better in school. These children also go on to have a healthier relationship in adulthood. So this may seem like an obvious finding, but it's interesting to note that early experience have such a profound impact on a child's development. To build on your parenting strength and give your children a sense of security, do this. Show them affection, show affection towards them and appreciate them. Treat them with respect, acknowledge their feelings, set consistent boundaries, give them a full attention when you are with them. Be approachable, remind them that you love them unconditionally. Keep your promises, be dependable and trustworthy. Okay guys, improve your parenting skills and watch your children thrive. You are committed to developing the skills needed to be a good and effective and even a world-class parent. How do you do this? As you implement the tips given to you in this video, you will become a better parent, and over time you will observe your children becoming more responsible, more resilient and self-motivated children, and you won't have to nag them anymore either. Of course, this is a journey that will take time and effort, but it's worth it. Like this, if you like this video, share to your friends, and thank you for watching. See you guys in my next video.